Hi, welcome, welcome. I am so glad you've joined me today. Whether you're watching live on Facebook or live on YouTube or you're watching the replay, I'm thrilled to have you watching. I love playing with Stampin' Up! Products, and I love inspiring you to create with your Stampin' Up! Products and whatever you have in your craft room. I am looking to meet a lot of new paper crafters in the Lubbock, Texas area, and well, really all over the whole US. I can help customers anywhere. So I just love to be able to have online classes as well as in-person classes. So if you're interested in any of those, let me know. Today we're going to focus some more on the Frames and Flowers Specialty DSP that Stampin' Up! Just came out with in their new catalog. And I've got a couple of specials. Let me tell you about these really quickly. And I'll show you here. Let's see. We've got a couple things that are current that you can just skip over this if y'all are watching the replay and it's after this date. But right now there's a join special in case you're interested in a 20% discount every month on your Stampin' Up! Products. This is a good way to do that, is just become a demonstrator, whether you're a hobby demonstrator or if you want to build a business. I'm happy to help you anyway on my team. But right now you get, in addition to the $26 of extra product you normally get for your $99 starter kit, you're also going to get $82 worth of new in-color products, which is incredible. Plus, you'll get free shipping on that order. So if you want to do that, do it today or tomorrow, and then you could place another regular Stampin' Up! Order as a demonstrator, get your discount, and the next day get free shipping. And if you're already a demonstrator or you're already just a customer and want to stay that way, then on May 21st, there's free shipping for any orders over $75. So heck of a deal. Lots to learn about. Okay, the Frames and Flowers comes with 3 sheets of 12 by 12 that are, you can tell I've already punched out all the die cuts in this. And then 3 sheets of just regular designer series paper that is 2-sided, of course, double-sided. And then I'm also using the Stylish Shapes dies and also the, let's switch this over where y'all can see a little better. Sorry about that. The Thoughtful Moments Hybrid Embossing Folder. We'll be using that. And then we also will be using linen thread. And that's the main things that we're going to be using today. That and just the coordinating cardstock, which there's a lot of it. And I don't have any finished cards, so we're going to kind of put this one together. So if you will let me know who you are and where you're from and make a comment when you're on. I'd love to help you if you have any questions. Okay, we're going to get started. This, I'm just going to go through kind of how I did each card quickly, and we're going to try to get 4 done in an hour. So out of the 30, I've already done a couple of parts, so y'all can catch those on the replay. This sheet, cardstock, this is half sheet, so it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then we'll go ahead and do the inside. Let's see, do we want to do this? Do we want to do this? I think for something, I don't know. We'll decide that later. We'll do the outside first. Okay. If you, like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. I would love to know from whoever's watching. I couldn't decide if I really wanted that petal pink background or if I like it better without it. I kind of think I like it better without it. Just like that. I think it brings out that we have enough of picking up the coral with the flowers. But if I don't hear a no from y'all, that's the way we're going to go. Better speak now or forever hold your peace, right? Okay, we're going to stick with, this is one of the little cards that come off of one of the die cut sheets. I think you get, I think it's 6 of these cards, but I'm not sure. I've torn all of them up, so I don't know. But this is a fun little pattern, and that's very similar to one of the patterns in the designer series paper that are 12 by 12, the full sheets. But these cute little cards just make a great way to quickly put together a card base. or a card front, actually. So we're just going to center that on there with an even border all the way around. And that card was already pre-cut, like I said. So it is 3 3/4 by 5. Yep. 3 3/4 by 5. Then I'm using the largest of the Stylish Shapes dies for the petal pink die cut here. And if you decide you want to make all 30 cards that I'm making, whoops, let me switch that camera again. Whoop, there we go. If you want to make all 30 cards the way I'm making them, then you can sign up, and for $50, you can make 30 cards. And you'll get a full pack of envelopes. That's 40 envelopes, so you'll have 10 extra. And a full roll of the linen thread. And then you'll get all the die cuts already done for you from the Thoughtful Moments and the Stylish Shapes dies that I'm using for this card. I mean, for all 30 cards. Heck of a deal. Okay. Now we're going to take this little die cut, and you want to kind of audition your pieces. And sorry, I'm shaking the table here. Trying to go quickly. So don't take too much of your time. That's kind of how I want it. So we're going to, this is pretty much over to that side. I'm just going to hold my hand there where I want this to be. Get these little backings off of my dimensionals. And so I know it was kind of toward that side. It was fairly close to the top, and I wanted that to be vertical. And now we'll pop that up and then put the little thing here kind of at an angle, a jaunty little angle. And I'll go ahead and put dimensionals on here. And it may take minis. I think we better switch to minis right here, because you don't want it going flat. And you don't want these hanging out the sides there where it'll show. So it's a little easier to use the mini dimensionals in that case. And these may be a teeny bit different in height, but I don't think it's enough to be able to tell. So we will pop that up. Let's make sure, I wanted to give myself, make sure you give yourself enough room here. I should have turned that dimensional the other way. Let's see if we still can. Yeah, I'm going to move it over a little bit and put that flat side over there so that I can tuck it up against that. And we have the get well. Yay. And that's kind of parallel to the bottom of the card, or tried to get it that way. It's a little bit off, seems like. Okay. Now we're going to take glue dots and attach, put the bow onto a glue dot. This must be an old roll. It's kind of opposite the way they've been doing it lately. So sometimes, if you can't find it, sometimes they're on this part and sometimes they're on this part. So it's hard to explain. All right. Now we have a cute little bow underneath. I think that could be a little smaller. There we go. I like that. Now we're going to jazz up our little get well real quickly with our Wink of Stella. And I think these are back ordered at the moment, but they always come back in. So just lightly, lightly, lightly go over just the raised letters. Okay. And I would practice it on something else besides the one that you've chosen to go on your card, just so that you kind of get the feel of it. Once you've done a few, you'll be able to do it pretty quickly, but you don't want to rush, because you can make a mess and get the Wink of Stella where you don't want it. And we really want to emphasize those gorgeous letters. Now for the inside of the card, which one do we want? Do we want this one? Whoops, and that is a little short. This kind of has a pink background and that has a green, so I think I'm going to stick with this. And this, like I said, is a little bit shorter than 4. Usually this is 4 by 5 1/4, but this is a little short. That's 7/8. I mean 3 7/8 looks like. So we're just going to cut 1/8 of an inch. Woo! Wrong way. Alert, alert. Did y'all tell me that and I missed it in the comments that I was about to cut from the wrong side? And if you cut from one side, I usually try to do the same amount on the opposite so that you keep an even border all the way around. Let's get this here so you don't have such a mess to look at. Get my little silicone glue mat out. And we're going to glue this. And I usually leave a little bit, probably a 1/4 inch at the bottom when I'm putting in a little banner or a little piece to show the inside. All right. And I would stamp definitely before you put that down. If you're going to stamp a greeting on the inside, you always want to stamp first so that you can flip it over and have your do-over side still to go. But we're not stamping today because I'm trying to get through lots of cards, and I want you to feel free to use whatever greeting you want on the inside, whatever you have in your stash. And we are done with card number 1. Except I think the flowers need just a teeny bit of wink of Stella also. And if y'all want to use an embellishment in the flowers, that would be lovely. I just did not have enough of the new ones to do 30 cards, and I decided I wanted to encourage you to use what you have that coordinates with these. So there you go. You can just scatter those wherever you want. Pretty. You like it? Okay, next card. This one is very similar to one we've made previously. And it's another bookbinding fold, which is just easy with these greetings being a nice little circle or a nice little square. And this is Calypso Coral cardstock, 11 inches by 4 1/4, scored. And this one is scored at 4 1/4. You know, if you've watched the previous videos, some of them have been scored at 4 and some of them at 4 1/4. So this gives you 1 1/4. Yes, 1 1/4 inch flat there, but you'll score at 4 1/4 and 5 1/2. And then go ahead and fold it and use your bone folder to burnish it really well. And then you'll fold this fold back onto itself. Make sure it's lined up top and bottom and give it a good burnish. And not only do I do it that way, I'll go ahead and flip it this way so it will lay flat the way it's supposed to when it opens up. Okay, now we're going to, I've talked about layering, and I think this is too busy with all of this going on, but y'all can express your opinion. I'm thinking something like this and this and this, but I was thinking we wanted to do this, which really makes that pop. We also have, I think I've got the thank you and Old Olive too, if we want to try that. I was going to let y'all decide which one you like. I think today I'm liking the Old Olive better. But you could use Granny Apple Green or Old Olive, whichever one you want. This one pops a little more. So this one picks up these leaves, and the Old Olive picks up kind of the darker leaves. So while y'all are thinking about that, I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. And this is 1 inch, I believe, by 4. I'll measure it really quickly. You just get an even border all the way around. Get that on. Let's see if that's an inch. Yep. 1 inch by 4. Okay. Then we're going to take these and decide, do we want the leaves popping up and covering up our little stylish details there on the square? Like that. With the thank you, which is gonna, that makes that a little tighter to be able to do that, but it kind of think that's too much. I think we want it spread out a little bit more and be able to show the dots and have this stand out a little more. I think actually I'm going to glue that flat. Okay. And thanks again for tuning in, whoever's watching. If y'all let me know who you are and where you're from, that'd be awesome. If you want to remain incognito, that's fine. I'm happy to have you here. So that's awesome. Okay, we're going to do that flat. And then we're going to see exactly where we want that, because it has to kind of line up. You don't want gaps all suddenly showing. See how that would show the gaps there? You want to make sure these are tight enough where this can cover all of those gaps. Okay, so I'm going to keep that there to help me know exactly where to glue this one. That was a runaway bow. Do you call that a bow? It's not really an arch. Let's see. There we go. So I'm trying to spread it out as much as I can from that other one without any little things showing. Okay, so that one's glued flat. Isn't that pretty? You could just do that if you wanted. That would be nice too. The little thank you in there popped up just like that. But I kind of like the way this ties everything together. And I love that stitching on our stylish shape dies, don't y'all? Okay, we're going to, y'all let me know, Granny Apple Green or Old Olive on the greeting. And there are lots of great greetings in that set of Thoughtful Moments, that embossing, hybrid embossing folder and dies. And you can just cut out a whole sheet of whatever color you want if you want to. Or if you know you just want a bunch of thank yous in this color, that size, you can just cut a piece of paper large enough for that, and then just cut them one at a time. So you have options. All right, let's see. We're going to put this on the inside, and this should be a 4x4 square. Yep. And yep. Okay, so on the inside, it doesn't matter, except this is a little short again. So that's 3 7/8 probably. Yep, 3 7/8. So we're going to have to change this to 3 7/8. We're going to cut off just 1/8 of an inch on both sides to make it fit, because nobody tells us it has to be exactly 4, right? That was just assumed because that would fit, but always, always, always check your pieces first and see what you think. Okay, I think we're going to go, we could go either way on the inside. I think we're going to go this. I think that's a really pretty piece there. So we'll glue that little strip on. And I usually leave about 1/4 inch at the bottom. We'll go ahead and glue this in. I don't see any comments there. Y'all let me know. Old Olive, Granny Apple Green. What you think? Okay, then we're going to line this up. I'm going to fold that so I can get this kind of even border all the way around. Okay, because this is going to be glued down once we get our linen thread in there. We're going to wrap some linen thread around. And rather than try to tie that whole thing, I'm going to just do that with my Stampin' Seal. And we'll get some linen thread. I finished off my other robe. Hey, Deborah. Thank you. I appreciate your input. I'll put the Old Olive. You got the first vote, so we're going with that. All right, let's see if we can find the end of this without, that looks like one that's cut. Ooh, I should have done this earlier. And I have pulled before like this and made just a royal mess. Dang, I should have done this before I got on the air. Okay. This is not what I like to do, but we're going to just cut. I would recommend being much more patient and getting it right rather than doing that. But since we're on the air, we're on a little time crunch. I usually do 9 inches and then cut it and then cut that same length again. There we go. Oh, that's for a bow. Okay. Let's see. I don't know that we need a double bow on the front. I'll go ahead and do a double bow because I know I'll use it somewhere on another card if we don't use it on this one. And then I'm going to do a single bow and we'll see what we like best on this card. Okay. So on this one, I'm going to just wrap it around here in the middle. And cut. I think we're just going to do a single bow on this one. Uh-oh. Dang. Sorry, it's pixelating again. That internet must be acting up once more. Hate that. Okay. I'll go more slowly. All right, I think we're going to do one little single bow. That's kind of a mess right there. We're just going to cut that off. Tie a single bow. And if y'all want to tie your bow first and then come around and attach the ends, you know, whatever works for you. I know a lot of people are really good at that, making it work that way. But I think we're going to do just a single bow. And then y'all voted Old Olive. So we're going Old Olive on this. Keep flipping it upside down. All right, I'm going to stick a little mini down here just on this little tail. And then I'm not sure I can even make a mini fit right there. That one's got kind of part of it cut off, so I think that worked great. Deborah, I know I've seen you on here before. I'm not sure where you're from. It's good to have you commenting. Please share with your crafty friends. Okay, we're just gonna, we could do it at a jaunty little angle like that if we want. We can do it straight. Everything else straight. So, and I'm just kind of leaving these. So if y'all want to do your own embellishments, if you get my kit or if you're doing it at home, you'll be working with your own embellishments. So I didn't want to try to sway you with one in particular because you may want totally different ones on different cards. So it's hard to do that when I'm putting a kit together like this, but in case y'all weren't tuned in earlier, oh, do we want a bow in both places? Or we want something different there? I think that needs to get a little higher up. There's our little bow and our thank you. You could put, let's see, we want like a little bitty nest maybe underneath him, underneath the thank you. I keep trying to make a nest and it hasn't looked good yet, but it could. It always could. I'm going to see if I can peel that up. I didn't press it down very hard, so I could play a little. Let's see what we think of this kind of look below there. Do y'all like that, or is it too much with that? think it'd be too much. Oh, yeah, Deborah. I remember now. Just couldn't think offhand. I think that's a little too much. I think this is better clean since we've got that bow there. I really kind of think I like it at an angle here. But you could put any of the sentiments that would fit. I just like that thank you one in particular. Okay, so once you've got that and you've got all your layers, you had to put the layer first before you could put the ribbon, and you've got to put both of those before you glue it. But now we're ready to glue it. I'll put a little on that ribbon too, just to make sure everything's going to stay. Just give that some pressure, let it have time to sit. And I really think some embellishments there would be quite nice. We're going to use our Wink of Stella like we did on our others. It really makes a dramatic difference, I think. Well, maybe not dramatic, but a nice subtle difference. How about that? When you go over the letters like this, you just have to be careful not to get in too big a hurry and just lightly, light touch on just the raised part of the letters. And then we'll wink the flowers. I think some embellishments there in the center of those flowers would be really pretty too. Y'all can add those. And there's that card. Open, closed. Yay! 2 down. All right, let's see. This one is, I need an opinion too, Deborah, so I'm glad you're there. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad you like that with the frame like that. Okay, Deborah, we're gonna, and anybody else out there who's watching and just not commenting, we've got a couple of choices here. And I picked up the wrong one. I accidentally scored here, but if we decide to use that, we will. I'm going to show you this card. We've got 2 different bases. Okay, as you can see, this designer series paper, this is on the back, is kind of a Lost Lagoon that's mixed. I really think, I mean, that's pretty, but I think I like the peacock better, but I want y'all to see what you think. Okay, here's my plan. Either this or this, and we're going to have the cute little, like little flowers right here, kind of like that. Okay, so you've got that with the green, the greeny apple green base, and you could do the Lost Lagoon Celebrate, or you can do the green there, greeny apple green. Okay, so there's one option. Now, let's see if we would rather have it on a pretty peacock base. Same card. Folded. And this is just an easy peasy little Z fold, which this pretty peacock base is really pretty too. So we can have it like that and just pick up that little bit of green, which really makes that pop, I think. Or you could do the Lost Lagoon to kind of go with the flower base. Let me see if I have another choice. Not sure if I have that in peacock. I think I do. Or we could do pretty peacock. That's the fun of going ahead and cutting out. You can cut out a 6x6 sheet and fit in there, and then you have a lot of options. Okay, thank you, Janice. So you're saying the pretty peacock base. Okay, both of you. All righty then. Both Deborah and Janice say pretty peacock. Now let's decide. So we'll stick with this base. Now, do we want for the Celebrate, do you want the pretty peacock? Or do you want Lost Lagoon? Or do you want Granny Apple Green? for the celebrate. 1, 2, or 3. 3, that's the 3. Here's the 2. That's kind of too dull, I think. I think we either need 1. We need, okay, peacock or granny apple. We have 1 vote. Okay, we have 1 vote for peacock, 1 for Lost Lagoon. Okay, y'all are going to have to, and none for the granny apple. I think we'll stick with that since the Lost Lagoon, I think, kind of almost blends into those. I don't know. I think we'll stick with the same color family since y'all are voting against the granny apple green. I think that this will brighten up once we do the Wink of Stella on it. So we'll see if we get any other votes in while I glue this base. And this is 4 by 5 1/4. And the pretty peacock base is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at, okay, I have to think, 2 3/4, I believe. 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. Yeah. 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. It should not be scored over here. Just 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. It's not a big deal, really, that it's scored over there. We're just going to leave it because I don't have another base. And I forgot that was a mistake. Okay. So that just has an 1/8 inch border all the way around because it's 4 by 5 1/4. Now, all you do on a Z fold, and it's called a Z fold. See, you can see the Z. So you've got the 5 1/2 piece here, and then this is folded at half of the 5 1/2. And we're going to really burnish that well so it'll stay properly, both sides. And then go ahead and get that fold burnished really well. Try not to be too loud here. Cognizant of how loud that can be through the microphone. Sorry about that. Trying to be careful. Okay. Now we're going to use this side of the paper because that picks up the little petal pink in the background and that little bit of, it's kind of in between Calypso Coral and Pumpkin Pie. It lists both as well as the petal pink. And this is really pretty, and I hate to cover this paper up, but I've done several cards already. If y'all haven't seen the cards I did with this earlier, I have another video with those. There we go. Now, okay, we're going to take our little scissors. Okay. We're going to, I think my mini dimensionals are easier to get a little line. And foam adhesive strips are a lot easier, but I cannot seem to remember to bring those in here. Okay, so I just use the edge there. I'm going to peel off the backing. And I shouldn't have peeled it off that whole piece because I'm not using that whole piece, but we'll save this part. Okay, then peel the backing off of that. Center that on here. You don't have to center it, but I kind of like it that way with the T almost coming off, the C almost coming off. Okay, then we're going to see which way we like these little guys. And these were die cuts in that Frames and Flowers set. And y'all could do this. I mean, y'all could do this. $50 and y'all could do this at home with these videos and the die cuts. Easily do this on your own. Really and truly. Okay, there's the big one, little one. We may chop that off of that little one. Oh, there we go. We can do it up like that. Okay. We're going to put that there. I want this to be hanging off the edge here, so that may need to be a little closer in, both of those. So we're going to glue these flat. Whoops, and that's what's called auditioning your pieces, deciding where they're going to go first, making sure they're where you want them. And I'm going to go ahead and do a little mini dimensional on the back there, right in the center. Well, I'm going to show you a little trick first. If y'all didn't watch that other video, if you take these little flowers and put them in the palm of your hand like that and use your take your pick tool with that putty end, it gives them a lot of dimension. Isn't that cute? Easy peasy. And then putting an embellishment in the middle would be really great too, if you have some of those. Okay. So let's see if we're still on track here. We're going to move that over just a little bit, leave that up. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here so I know how that has to come underneath it. Then we'll put the big one. We're going to stick that with the glue dot. I think that'll be easier. There we go. So I take the flower to the dot. See, now it's on there instead of on my finger, taking it off, putting it on. This is a much easier way to do that. Because most people have a tendency to take the dot and then try to get it to where they want it. So if you'll always remember to take the embellishment to the dot, that is much easier. Okay, done with that roll. Okay, now we're going to pop up the Celebrate. Even though that's popped up a little bit, and we might want to use just a little bit of this on that C. I'm going to go ahead and take the back off too, since we've got the rest of this down. Try to get that without tearing it up. Can you see what I'm doing? Just adding that to the back of that C would have been much easier had I done it before I put it on there, but that works, doesn't it? Okay. So we're ready with that. That could be flat since this is raised up, but I don't think that's too much. So you can either, if you want to take a Post-it note and stick it here, that's a good idea, or just put your hand there where you know you don't want anything. If you're going to mail this, I would go ahead and glue this flat instead of doing the dimensionals like this, because we've already got one dimensional there and now we've got another on top of it. But sometimes it's worth it to go ahead and pay the extra postage. You spent all this time making a card, right? Okay, we're going to get our Wink of Stella out again. Whoa! Do this lightly. Do y'all have any other questions or comments or anything? Do y'all like this kit? Do you like the color in it? Color family? Colorway? See, really on those really skinny parts, you really have to go lightly. Boop. Look, 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 look. Okay. And this should have a white little piece of cardstock. That's right here, maybe. Yes, right there. And then you can just write your little message, sign your name here. And I would stamp it first. Like I said, stamp it first so you have the do-over side. But today We are not stamping. We are going for it. Trying to show y'all as many cards as possible in a short, reasonable amount of time. I wouldn't say short, but reasonable. Isn't that cute? And we'll go ahead and put a little wink on there. And I'll come back and put an embellishment in the middle later. You could do your leaves like that. Stems, leaves. Isn't that pretty? Can you see how that would sit up on their desk? Whoever you give it to, that would just be so cheery. And you could put, oh, happy day, or happy birthday, or happy anniversary, or whatever you want, or happy graduation. That's the great thing about this Celebrate, is it could be so many occasions that you could celebrate for. Just make sure and be careful not to put any dimensionals or any glue right behind that part that's hanging off. Cute. Thank y'all for your input on that. Let's see, how much time do I have? Whew, 9 minutes. I'm not sure if I can do that. Let's see what we have here. Let's get another one. Okay. I don't really remember what I had on here. Let's see. I think I had this like that. And this was over here. That was on the inside. But we could put it there. No, I think that's too much. But we'll see. We've got thank you in pumpkin pie. We've got thank you in Lost Lagoon. I think, Deborah, you voted for Lost Lagoon. Oh, thank you, Deborah. I'm glad you liked that. I did too. I was pleased with it. Okay. Nope, I know what I had. Dang, I should have taken a picture. Oh my goodness. I think I had it kind of like that with that. And then, oh goodness, I just picked that right up and did not take a picture. Let's see if this is what I did. Something like this. Well, I may have to play with this one some more. I can't remember how I had it. But I had an orange flower to try to pick up some of this color and cover up that peachy pinky color on this particular card. I think I had maybe two sprays like that. And this. And then maybe one over here, one little flower over there. Or we don't have any flowers, we just have the spray. I think that's kind of what I was thinking. But I really think that, but I guess that peachy pinky color is in this too. What do you think of that? And then maybe a little, maybe we just want a linen bow over here and not. And then this will open up that way. See, that's a gatefold. You like it? Y'all still on board? I think that's what I had. Okay, we're going to go ahead and glue that. So this is an 11 by 4 1/4 scored at 2 3/4 in from each side. Yeah, 2 3/4 in from each side. So do it one way and then flip it over, turn it the other way. We're going to Oh, I'm going to glue these on the inside. That was my plan, I think. Maybe. I think that's kind of pretty. On the inside, just kind of both of those. Because you don't always have to put it just on the white piece inside. Whoop. Make sure these are the same width. I think those are 1 inch. That one's a teeny bit over 1 inch, but very close. Not obvious that they're not exact. Okay. There we go. And then we'll put that inside there. I'm just going to tack that so I might be able to pull that up later. I'll risk it. I'm being brave today. So I can stamp something in there later. Isn't that pretty inside? Now, this is called a horizontal gatefold card. And we're going to use our bone folder, really burnish that really well there. Both ends. Add this piece. This is 2.5 by 4. 2.5 by 4. And this is that same designer series paper that we used on that last card. Boom, boom. Make sure you got some in the corners. Use your liquid glue, use your seal, whatever your favorite is. Glue that down. Now, let's see here how we're going to, if we want to glue this on there, I kind of think I need to get it attached somehow. So, I'm going to go. Okay, I've got about that much room to put glue. Okay. So we're going to have that flat. This whole thing is going to be popped up. And then I think these will be, I don't know if those are even necessary. We'll see if we. Hey, Rebecca. Glad you joined us. It is pretty DSP. Okay, if we do the bright and do the flower, I just don't like that pumpkin pie there for some reason. Okay, if we stick to this, thank you, and a little bow. That bow is not exactly little, is it? Let's see, tighten that up. Or maybe this is at the bottom, kind of. Right. So we have that kind of covering that pinky stuff up. Flip it this way. Trim those big old tails off a bit. Okay, let's see if we want this coming out here, maybe around like that. And then maybe one behind, or do we want 2 up here? Nope. Do we want 1 over here? Nope. That will get beat up if it's in the way of when the card opens. This kind of is facing like it should be underneath here. What about that? I kind of like that. With this one flat. Oh, my phone battery's low. Let me hook that up before I lose it. That wouldn't be good. Watch, it may shake my camera a bit. There we go. Uh-oh. Dadgummit. Okay, am I still on the air? I do not know. Let me see here where I am. Yes, I am. Whew. Okay, we'll see. I don't know about that. I can't get to my phone without unhooking it here. I can't answer the little questions. So, okay with this layout? You like that? If so, I'm going to glue this like that. And of course, y'all will have the whole kit. You can play with it and do whatever you want with it. But see, some of these have a curve like this, and some of them are like that. So I'm going to stick this one. I'm going to leave all that top part up. Okay, so that's just barely glued there. And then this one comes out here. I'm just kind of gluing the bottom, y'all can see. Kelly, get that gob of glue off. Woo! Not really putting it back in my holder properly since I'm going so fast. Should that be further out? I don't want it exactly the same as that. I think that works. Okay, let's get this on. Yes, still on YouTube. Great. Okay. Whew. Okay, so y'all can see this is going to be 2 level because I have that on there, and then this will all be popped up. And I don't want this little thing that's loose, see on that? I don't want that hanging over here where it can catch when you're doing this. So you make sure that that your dimensionals behind here are not on this part. Now we just like our thank you and our little bow, and we're good to go. Let's pop that up. And Rebecca, I can't remember exactly, is your dog a Labradoodle? Because I saw we had some little margarita thing at the park yesterday, and there was a Bernedoodle who was kind of brown and black, but looked a lot like your dog, I thought. So I wasn't sure what Bernedoodle is versus what yours is, but I did show him a picture of Denver. Okay, here's our thank you. I think we'll do it at a little jaunty little angle like that. Maybe a little further this way. I kind of like that with none of the orangey stuff on there. Just stick the bow over on the wreath. Golden Doodle. Okay. Thank you. Because she said, oh, well, ours is a Bernedoodle. I was like, oh, look kind of like the same kind of dog to me, just a different color. Oh, goodness gracious. What do you think? Y'all like that one? Yay! Thank you for your help today. I appreciate that. Here are the 4 that we've done. We've got Celebrate, Thank You, Get Well. We're kind of really doing a variety, aren't we? How fun. Thank y'all so much for your input. I appreciate it and hope you'll tune in for the rest of the 30 cards. And if you're interested in making all 30, this will be my class to go coming up. And it can either be if somebody in Lubbock wants to get together and do like a stamp camp thing and y'all all come make it here on a day or on a weekend, kind of 2 afternoons, we could do that. Or if you want to just pick up the whole class to go, it's just $50 for 30 cards, which is a heck of a deal. Get you a full package of envelopes, which is 40. So that's more than you even need for the cards. It'll get you a full roll of linen thread. It'll get you the packet of frames and flowers, all this, all the cardstock you need for this. All of these will be die cut for you by moi. And they'll all be in separate little envelopes together. Or if you want to order it all yourself, you can, I'll just probably put the main measurements onto a project sheet so that you'll have those and you can do it yourself. Whoops, we forgot the Wink of Stella on here. Let's do that real quickly. So this last shot will be all finished. But if y'all are interested in that, be sure and let me know. Just send me an email to kelly@createwithkelly.com and I'll send you the final. I'll probably have like a little Google form and you can fill that out and do PayPal, or if you're local and want to do Venmo, you can do that. That would be great. And now I think we're kind of finished. We need to sparkle a couple of those leaves up. We got to have Wink, right, Rebecca? Rebecca's a big Wink of Stella fan too. And if you want to add your own embellishments, that is wonderful. Okay, and if you even want a little, I kind of like doing on these dies like this, going along the edge with the Wink of Stella, painting the edge with the brush. I just think that adds such a nice little touch to have that sparkle on the edge. See how that is? Can you tell? Okay. Do you like the cards? It will be a good class. It'll be fun locally, but you can do it on your own, Deborah. You can do a, just get the class to go. Shipping, I think, is $11 when you send it in that priority mail bubble pack. So it would add that to it, but it would be $51. I'd get it all together for you and you could watch these videos and do it easy peasy. That is a deal, Rebecca. I mean, my gosh, you go to Hallmark, you pay $7 a card if you would ever want to do that rather than send a handmade card. But this is, you know, like, what is that? $1.50 a card or something? Really cheap. So if y'all are interested, let me know. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. If not in person, on a video. Fun times ahead. Y'all have a great weekend. Bye-bye. And don't forget the free shipping on Tuesday, the 21st only, for orders of $75 or more. And we have a special join special if you'd love to join my team. Rebecca's on my team and we have a lot of fun, don't we, Rebecca? Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Rebecca, for tuning in. And thank you, Janice. Appreciate y'all's input. Have a great day. Bye.